Hello, Facebook. I did not want to go live, but my camera only allowed me to record for a certain amount of time. So I don't really like talking about this personally, but a part of me feels as though I should, and it's still taking me a while to kind of process what I want to say, but I guess I'll kind of just start and let the words flow as they shall. I'm sure by now your Facebook feeds have been reporting and informing you that Kate Spade was found dead at the age of 55 from an apparent suicide. And although the nature of what happened is sad and heartbreaking, regardless of who it involves, because of this news, and I know in McKinney, I believe it was Friday, there was a similar report of a young man who went inside of the high school and shot himself. And there's just been dozens upon dozens upon dozens of stories of people of all ages and all walks of lives who have been taking their own lives, and part of me just wanted to address it. For me, suicide and depression is very personal for a couple of reasons. One, I lost a cousin to suicide about 13 years ago, and unfortunately it doesn't ever get easier, and it's still tough for me to kind of talk about even now. And then also, a lot of people don't know this. Actually, the majority of people don't know this, but there was also a point in time in my life where not only did I have suicidal thoughts, but I made a few attempts to take my own life. And I kind of wanted to do this video just to talk to people and just kind of shake off some of the notions of what we think suicide and depression looks like. By no means I'm not a mental health expert. I'm not a clinical psychologist or counselor or anything of that nature. But a lot of times when these things happen, the same questions kind of pop up, and it's, why did they, want to do this? Or in Kate Spade's instance, I can't believe, someone like blank would want to commit suicide. And the same goes for young people, like, oh, they have their whole lives ahead of them, and we kind of look at how they were on the outside. And depression is such a tricky mental illness, and it never looks like, or rarely looks like, what we think it looks like. A lot of people will see depression as a person who's always sad and always down and just always in a sad or a bad mood, when in actuality that's not necessarily the case. A lot of times what happens with depression, we get in those places, and with our friends and with work, we act as though everything is okay because we want to keep up appearances. And I know for me personally, I didn't want people to ask me what was wrong or, are you okay? So I pretended to be that everything was fine, but yet would go home and wouldn't want to be bothered, wouldn't talk, wouldn't say anything. A lot of times I would go home and I would just cry, and for the most part there was no trigger to ask why the tears were happening. I was just sad, and it took a very long time for me to get out of that place. But I don't want to make this video too long, but what I want to do is to kind of challenge everyone just to, number one, I think it's important that we're prayerful about our family, our friends, our co-workers, because depression can hit anybody, and we don't think about it, and we don't think about that person until it's too late and we're planning funeral So to the family of Kate Spade, to the family of the young man from McKinney, and to families all around the world who are dealing with loved ones who have taken their own lives, I give my sincerest condolences. I can only imagine what you can be going through, because how one person grieves versus how another person grieves are two separate things. But what I will suggest, ask, or challenge is to take closer looks at who's around us. Although the signs may not be right in our face, there are those times where we can intervene. And I just challenge all of us to just be more loving people. We never know how impactful a smile can be, or a hug, or a pat on the back. So I just pray that we really start to consider the hearts and minds of those around us who are hurting, because there's more of us. There are more people out there hurting than what we think and what we know. And I think with everything that's going on in this world and just everything that people having to deal with, I just want us to be more vigilant, and myself included, and everyone that is struggling. I can remember the emotions I felt when I was in those places, wanting to take it all. And if there's anyone who will be watching or is watching that is in that place, I know it doesn't feel like it now, and it probably won't feel like it tomorrow or next week or next month, but coming from personal experience, it will get better. And I don't know what better means for you. I don't have that, but what I do know is I have begun seeing the purpose all along, and it took me a very long time to realize that there was value even in myself. So I say all of that to say, please be encouraged to know that the right now is not the end. And I would also like to encourage and beg almost for everyone else, if you are in that place and you are contemplating taking your own life, I strongly urge, please talk to someone who you feel that this information can be trusted with, even if it's not a counselor. I recommend a counselor, but if not them, just anyone, because the unfortunate thing that I did was not speak to anyone, which of course made the depression worse, because when you feel like no one cares and you don't talk to anyone, there's no reaffirmation that someone cares. So I would say that I will be praying for you if you are that person. If you've ever been that person, I will continue. I will pray for you as well, because even after you get over the attempts of wanting to kill yourself, there still comes times where those thoughts come into play and you start to contemplate, was not taking my life worth it? And once again, I want to let it to be known that it is worth it. I don't know what's at the end, and it's not for me to know what's at the end. Only God truly knows our end path and our end goal. But I definitely want to encourage all of you guys to stay hopeful. If you're a praying person, I would pray, even if it's a simple, if no one else hears, God hears you and loves you despite. So I pray that everyone's having a great, was it Tuesday? And I just ask that if you guys can help me keep everyone in our thoughts and in our prayers, and if you know of counselors or anyone that that can help. I also ask if you have their information, if you're friends with them on Facebook, if you are a counselor, to either comment, tag yourself, and I will also be putting some resources on the comments as well once this video is over, because it's a great thing to have people in your thoughts and prayers, but at the end of the day, action needs to happen as well. So I will be doing my part in putting up some resources that I know of, and I just hope that with all of these sort of stories happening as it regards to suicide and depression, that we really start paying a closer attention to what's happening and what's going on in this world. I know this isn't the most uplifting video I've ever done, but I really felt it was necessary, and I just wanted to share it with all of my friends. So I guess to try and lighten the mood. I hope you guys have a happy Tuesday, or at least the rest of it. I know most of you are probably in a lunch break, or I know I am. But and if all else fails, if there is anyone out there who feels like there's no one to talk to, please comment on my Facebook. I, for the most part, keep a good check on it. If no one else will speak to you, I definitely will. So thank you guys for watching. I hope something was said to either make us think or to make us feel better, or whatever it is that you needed. So I love you guys, and have a good Tuesday.